everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress of, a podcast about movies, TV shows, video games, and lots of pop culture and nerd things. My name is Oscar B, one of your hosts today, and with me per usual, we got Alex, LeBron, also known as the Dad. We got Brian, the Beard, also known as New Reliable, and the Spider-Man villain, Mr. Negative, on a Dragon Ball Z Redemption arc. How we all doing today?
You're in a city where you're not usually in.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm in Alex's part of the woods almost.
Almost. You passed. I think you passed me. You're up in Manhattan.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good to be back. It's always nice. It's a nice time to go here. I went to my usual favorite ramen spot earlier today for lunch.
Hell yeah.
It was the best.
It's funny. It actually popped up on my memories recently of when we went.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, we're gonna link up tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, it should be fun. Should be a good time. Yeah, no Devin listeners. I'm pretty sure he's literally playing a sport right now, doing something outside.
This fucker. This granola ass motherfucker.
Yes. But yeah, listeners, we got a pretty fun news-filled, Netflix-filled show, as you can see from the title. If you want to skip ahead or avoid spoilers of any kind, check the show notes and all that stuff in the description below. But with that, guys, do we want to just head straight into our first segment of the week?
Let's do it.
News talk. First piece of news. It was a pretty big one. It was announced. This was shared in an official post to Nintendo investors that Sony, weirdly enough, is going to be co-financing a new film with Nintendo that is a live-action The Legend of Zelda movie.
Let's fucking go.
What is with Sony and wanting to put their hands in things that they have no business putting their hands in as far as like movies go? They love holding a movie hostage.
I can't believe Nintendo said yes.
Right. I mean, you got to get funding from somewhere.
I haven't seen the Mario movie, but what studio did that?
Illumination.
Okay, that makes sense.
The Minions people.
Yeah. And it looked good. It was a phenomenally looking movie. The actual movie itself.
Oh, yeah.
Give or take, whatever. But it was a really beautiful movie.
And this is allegedly live action, not CG.
Correct.
How much do we know about this?
Nothing.
I don't know if that holds up. Like, I would rather see a CG Zelda movie. I think
I agree with that. I don't think I want to see a Zelda movie, to be completely honest with you.
I'd be okay. I'd be okay with no movie for sure. But I'll watch it. I'm gonna watch this.
My issue with Nintendo properties as movies is the fact that they make their main characters don't talk. And they do that for a very specific reason, of course. They want you to reflect your own opinions and feelings on the character and not have a character be established themselves. That's always kind of been their MO. So to take that away and kind of like, take that big pyramid and kind of squish it,
right,
feels gross. And I think that kind of showed through in Mario, that it's like, okay, now Mario has a personality because that man's just out here, just talking. He's meeting people and saying, "Hey, yo, what's up, guys? It's me, Mario." Like, that's weird. It doesn't really feel good. I feel like if they were going to get away with anything, it would be Mario. But Zelda is gonna be a really hard sell to get any kind of who would you voice? Who would act? Because if this is a live action movie, who would be Link in this movie?
Honestly, I think they need to get an unknown.
If Chris Pratt got
years
Link,
on that motherfucker,
I will end my life. I will jump.
He would be the biggest Link we'd ever seen. They get the Rock as Ganondorf.
Gotta get the fucking rupees.
You know what?
I'm gonna go a different direction than Brian. I don't give a fuck if Link talks. I have zero attachment. I do not give a shit if that elf boy talks. Do it. Make it Jared Leto. I don't care.
I mean, I just think of Link 2, was it Zelda 2, where Link is like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go find the princess." So I wonder if they're gonna do like a situation like that.
Right. I just think it's weirder that everyone else in that universe talks but Link.
I mean, I think it could work. I'm thinking like Mad Max Fury Road, George Miller.
Yes.
I think if it's handled like that was like a stellar action movie, great characters. Mm-hmm. Mad Max in that movie was, fleshed out character who didn't have that many lines, but was still like a important character that everybody else revolved around. And it really let other people shine. Like, I forget the female lead, but that whole storyline could totally fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up. I feel like that molding could fit for Zelda for sure.
Okay, that makes me feel slightly better.
Yeah,
but I wonder if they would be able.
They
to
probably will not do that. They probably will not do that. They're
gonna make him talk
a bunch of lines, and yeah.
No, I want to do opposite, where they give him no lines, but they do the thing that they do in like Pokemon and like Legend of Zelda, where they just you kind of have to infer that he did speak to the person, and they just go, "Oh, what was that? Yeah, definitely.
Right.
We will definitely do that. But he never said a word. Like, no one ever says anything.
Yeah. And the 2 newest Zelda games, Link talks to the characters, but you never hear it. He does.
Mhm.
He like pantomimes, and then the
Right.
characters repeat back. Oh, so you're looking for Zelda? Cool.
Yeah, most 3D games would do that, and it's always kind of funny to me that they do that. That it's like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
what's that, Lassie? Did you say something? oh, that's great. And it's like, I didn't. He didn't say a damn thing. That man doesn't speak.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other question is like, are they gonna do an original story? Are they gonna do a Breath of the Wild since Tears of the Kingdom, since that is like the big one nowadays? Are they gonna go classic Ocarina? Are they gonna go even more old school? I don't know.
I hope they do the one with the moon.
They are not gonna do that. There's no fucking way
story
they're
is
gonna
so
start with
fucking
that.
It can't start from there.
Either way, he's gonna fight Ganondorf. You know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the same story, but there's so much
Yeah.
interesting stuff in between that I think they could really do it. Like, don't do the original. That's whatever. That's boring. But if you do something like some of these older ones, like you said, like Legend of Zelda, like Majora's Mask, or like even like something like Wind Waker could be interesting.
Right.
I'm excited.
I mean, everyone's saying Tom Holland or Timothée Chalamet.
No,
But that, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go like a Charlie Day.
no, fuck it. Make them black. Let's piss off all the nerds. Make them black.
Let's go John Boyega.
Yeah, hell yeah. that kid from Stranger Things. Make it him.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I'm just saying, if Zendaya is Zelda, I will riot. I'm sick of it. Nope.
You
No.
know what? I'm sure she's auditioning.
I want to say at least one suit is tossing that around really heavy right now.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Again, I think they gotta go more unknown.
Yeah,
But they
That'd be
won't.
cool.
I'm not. I'm gonna keep some optimism for it only because I do like Legend of Zelda, but I don't like this idea personally.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be. I would bet it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be good. It's gonna be fine. You know.
Right.
But Dave Bautista for Ganondorf is all I'm saying. Just do it.
oh, you could be cooking
But
there.
also, you know,
Don't make it the Rock.
he's been green before.
Please, God.
Don't make it the Rock. They'll make the movie
I'm
all
excited.
about him.
I'm excited.
Ganondorf will actually be a good guy by the end or some dumb shit. You know. So we'll see. Alrighty, next piece of news. Dun 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 dun. We've hit the moment in time. The SAG actor strike is finally over. It's done. Strikes are done. People are getting back to work, and man, studios did not take a second to be like, all right, actors, get your ass out there and promote some shit. Move your ass. Let's go. Back to work.
Get out there.
I mean, we watched a lot of shit struggle because they couldn't do that. A lot of movies kind of flopped out, and I feel like a big reason because that was because marketing had to be so shitty around it. And I mean, obviously, it's the fault of the people that don't want to fucking pay actors and writers and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting to kind of see like how much of effect that has, and will have over the next couple of years from what has happened now. Because a lot of things that were supposed to be coming out in 2024 are now pushed back. A lot of things,
guys, we could be watching Dune Part 2 right now, man.
Yeah, we sure could have. I really wanted to. God damn it.
I'm glad. I think this is good news. I'm glad that it's over and people can get back to work, but I'm glad that it happened and people can get more rights.
Yes.
You know, all good things.
I just want this to keep happening. That's my biggest thing, is I think like unionizing and having strikes and doing things like this is so important for advocating for yourself and advocating for like what the work that you do and how important it is. Because corporations have gotten way too fancy on, doing the shit that they do. My only thing is I hope that they do it next in gaming. I think the gaming space is 100% one. Not to get too off topic with, what's going on with this. I'm happy that this was solved and there's a solution here. I just wanted to keep happening in more and more spaces so more and more people can get what they deserve. So that's what it really comes down to. These people work hard and they deserve to be compensated appropriately for it and not be replaced with bullshit, AI and other nonsense that shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the sad part, is that this is only a 3-year contract. This will happen again in 3 years, I guarantee. There will be a strike probably in 3 years when the studios in 3 years try to do this AI bullshit again.
Right.
I'm ready for us technicians to go on strike. I need a damn raise, dude.
Let's go.
What about us? Me too.
We be poking fun. But
no, I'm happy. I am happy for the writers. I'm happy for the actors. I'm happy to be getting back to more work. But damn, come on.
We don't know all of the details as to what the deals have been made. I'm sure those will start. They've slowly started to trickle out, but we don't know fully what's been going on. I'm sure the nanny will let us all know. But yeah, good. Let's see some shit happening. Let's good that people are hopefully happy with this if they signed. So yeah, cool. Next. And final piece of news before we switch subjects up. Brian, this one's mostly for you because, once again, this is one of those things that I know nothing about, nor do I care. Overwatch League is dead forever, Brian. How does it make you feel?
Fucking go.
Oh, it's a good thing?
No, it's really not. It's yes and no. It needed to go is the biggest thing. It's sad that a lot of people lost their jobs in esports and just kind of in the space as a whole, the esports space when it comes down to it. And that really sucks. But unfortunately, that's kind of the nature of the game. But it's another one of those situations where esports just really don't know what they want to be because people that never played video games keep infiltrating the space. They just want to make a quick buck. And Overwatch League was 100% like the consequence of what happens when you do that. I don't know if you guys knew, but Overwatch League kind of wanted to do a similar thing to normal sports because a lot of normal sports people got into the space, and that they wanted to make teams be regional. So like Atlanta had an esports team for Overwatch to the point like that bar that we went to, Oscar, actually used to watch like all of their games and stuff as if it was like football or basketball or something like that.
Oh.
The funny thing about that, or the big issue with that, is the people that played on that team, not a damn one of them even lived in Atlanta. And it was kind of like that with most of those teams. That most of them lived in like, Korea or like Shanghai or like places like that, because that's just kind of the nature of the way esports works. It's an international game, so it's an international sport. These people aren't going to live in the fucking US, because why the fuck would they do that? There was Dallas Fuel, all these other teams, like all these teams. I can't remember what Atlanta was called. So it's just another thing where it's just mismanaged money and thinking that this is what people wanted, that people wanted to root for a team the same way they would want to root for, like the Washington Commanders or, the whatever else. And it just didn't work. So because of that, they were just bleeding money terribly. I don't even think Overwatch is an incredibly interesting esport to watch as someone that watches a lot of esports. So it just didn't have the traction that it needed. So it just was a net negative the entire time that it was running. And I'm glad they finally decided that, like, yes, we need to pull the plug on this and re-pivot. So it's Overwatch League in its existence now is going away. I do think they still want to do something with Overwatch as far as like league play and competitive esports goes. I just think they're kind of reframing what they're kind of doing with it. It's unfortunate they couldn't keep the people that they had working for them to do that. But, corporations, they're going to think of themselves first.
That's a bummer. I mean, yeah, sucks for all those people that were involved. Hopefully this is a I don't know, teaching moment for a lot of people.
That's the thing. Oh, esports is in a terrible space right now because all the money that they've been bleeding just as a whole, because they thought it was going to be bigger than it actually would, but no one knows how to market it correctly. And actually, it's really hard to decide how to make money from esports, and they can't seem to figure it out because they're too stupid. So I'm hoping this is one of those mini learning lessons of like, okay, well, we know this isn't the way to do it, so let's figure out what's the appropriate way to get engagement. So it's one of those hard lessons. It's one of those burning your fingers as a child kind of situation.
All right, we'll see where the future of all of that is. But that's it. Let's move into the second section. But first, we have to head to the trailer park. So let's go.
Mom's Pacetti.
I don't. What are we talking about?
All right, so N7 Day happened recently, which a lot of fans would know. This is like the Mass Effect Day where a lot of something usually happens, big or small. And this year, BioWare released a little teaser for the new Mass Effect, which we are not going to see for like 6-7 years probably. So what the fuck are they doing?
We're getting Elder Scrolls right now. And that's kind of unfortunate that they're giving us that little bit to make us get excited about it. They basically is BioWare trying to tell us that, like, hey, we're not dead
We're still out here.
Yeah, don't forget about us.
Yeah, as we know, Dragon Age Dreadwolf feels all but on ice at this point because we have seen nothing else past that little gameplay leak that popped up.
Yep.
So we don't really know that BioWare is doing very well, which I'm sure they're not.
Do we think a new Mass Effect or new Dragon Age game is going to be first?
It should be Dragon Age. Will it be? That's a great question. What it should be. Dragon Age has gameplay footage.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, so but it's been pretty silent over there.
Right.
Yeah. It's not looking great.
They fired a ton of people a few weeks ago, right? I think we talked about that.
They're one of the many companies this year, despite this being the highest grossing year of gaming probably ever. They're one of the many companies that have laid off a bunch of people. So
honestly, I think they might have laid off even more people recently.
Love that for nobody.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so I mean, the biggest thing was like fans started digging into this and saw that this might be connected to Andromeda, the much beloved fourth Mass Effect game. So that's exciting. Again, who cares? This game's not gonna come out I'll be dead before
Oh, shit.
What are we talking about?
It's GTA 6 all over again.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but come on.
I know that generating hype this early is really tough because I'm sure they don't have anything in this game. And that was kind of the issue with Andromeda. When Andromeda was first like teased, they did not know what the fuck they were doing with it. And then we watched them make a game in 6 months and that game sucked. So I appreciate knowing that Mass Effect still exists. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time, regardless of some of the issues that I have with it. But you could have told me this maybe a little bit closer to when it might actually come out.
Favorite franchises of all time, but you only like 50% of the stuff.
I've learned to love Mass Effect 3.
I mean, shit, that's all of Star Wars.
You know, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, it took a lot of Stockholm Syndrome, and it also took Andromeda having to be a really bad game for me to be like, I appreciate what
You know what, Brian? That's
worse
Brian's
out
trend,
there.
apparently, because you can probably say the same shit about Sonic.
About everything that I love, I hate. it's one thing. But no, Mass Effect DLC, the third
That's
game's
an abusive
DLC
relationship, Brian.
is really, really good. The game itself as a whole, it has its issues, but the DLC of that game really folds it into a much better space than it was. And I can say that and appreciate it.
Yeah. Alrighty. Final trailer of the week. It just dropped. It's only because we're only talking about it because what is funny. The Garfield movie trailer. I kind of forgot this movie is existing. I also forgot Chris Pratt's Garfield because why the fuck not?
Why not? There was a Garfield movie already though when we were kids, right?
There's been plenty of Garfield movies,
with Bill Murray. They were really bad.
Yeah, that's the one. I saw them in theaters.
Oh no!
But I will say this trailer, this movie is actually full.
He said, "Oh no,"
on purpose.
I think so. There was like a family affair.
Oh no! I will say this one. The trailer was cute in the sense that it was very like they did the whole. It's very emotional at the beginning, but then Garfield's just a fucking wreck. He's a mess of a fucking cat, and I like that it's actually fully animated. There you go.
That's pretty nice. Who does Chris Pratt have dirt on? What has someone done that he saw like on a video camera or something that has evidence? Because he's not even the it guy right now. So that's what's so confusing to me. That he's getting so
he's
much
the voice
work.
it guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
I would think like we talked about Tom Holland, Timothy Chalamet, and people like that, Zendaya. I just don't feel like it's his space anymore. Like he's like the Paul Rudd of movies right now, where it's just kind of like, yeah, get out of here, old man. Like, what are you doing?
Well, that's why he's taking jobs where he doesn't have to show his face.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. It just feels really weird that I just don't see. And it's like seeing what the internet's reaction to him, and then seeing what the Hollywood's reaction to him is. There's a dissonance there where it's like people make fun of this man constantly. Like he's the Drake of movies that we just make fun of him. He's a meme. So to see him get this work is just so funny to me. Like they had to have been someone else. Had to have been.
I don't know. It's pretty weird though. Like, yeah, he's collecting the Infinity Stones of iconic characters, I guess. You know.
More power to him, man. You know what?
More power to him.
Catch your bag, King. You do what you do, man.
Yeah. I ain't gonna be mad at anybody that does it. Yeah.
Right.
All right. That's the trailers, which means that is the news, which means, guys, shall we now move into our main topic of the week?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Which is kind of a continuation of some trailer parks because it's going to be a bunch of trailers. Because this is a Fourtress we're trapped in again. Once again, followed by Netflix. And look at that. We're talking about Netflix. We're talking about... Actually, there is some live action here. I was going to say it's all animated stuff because I'm going to continue my agenda of Netflix only doing animated stuff. But maybe this first teaser will break the curse. We'll see. But for now, we're in the Fourtress of...
Netflix.
More Netflix.
Geeked Week? I didn't even hear
Geeked
this.
Week?
I didn't know this existed.
Oh, it's a Geek Week.
Yeah, so apparently Netflix does this yearly. I didn't
Oh,
recall.
shit.
But,
Are we the geeks or are they the geeks? That's important.
It's stuff for all the geeks.
I don't want to be a geek. I'm a nerd.
should we take the tirade about the delineation between geeks and nerds and the hierarchy of nerds and what are the
nerds
ones?
are in. Geeks are still lame.
Hey, fuck them.
Yeah, so we're gonna be going through Netflix Geeked Week 2023 because they released a bunch of teasers and trailers for upcoming cool shows and stuff. Let's start with the big boy that we've been waiting for, actual more footage and a date, which we got February 22nd. Here we go.
Oh wow, February.
It is Avatar: The Last Airbender
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
live action.
This shit,
Brian,
better,
you looking excited?
This shit better not fucking suck. This seems like one of those series that's been in development hell, so I am so afraid. We know that the creators kind of took a walk back because they didn't like the creative decisions that were being made.
That's worrisome.
But at the same time, it looks better than Shyamalan
Yep.
version.
It looks a lot better than that.
That
It looks
we
a lot better
had.
than that.
So it may land somewhere in the middle of between the show itself.
I'm not going to get too excited, but I am excited. There's no way it can be better than the original, right? Like, that's just not possible.
It's a
The
live
cartoon?
action.
No, I doubt it.
So it's already got a high bar. So we just got to lower our expectations.
But it's also got a really low bar in that it can be better than that movie.
That's the Dragon Ball Evolution situation where like Dragon Ball Evolution was so bad that you can do literally anything other than that and you would be better.
Yeah,
Be
I mean, I kind of went through a weird mix of roller coaster of emotions through this trailer in the sense that it started, I was like, all right, it doesn't look that bad. The Netflix part worries me. The Netflix filter that I still can't explain with words still worries me. It's there and I don't know how to describe it. It's there a little bit. But when that music kicked in, I was like, oh, I got a little emotional. I'm not gonna lie. That music kicked in. They riding on Op. I was like, oh, I'm back home. I felt safe.
I was a little sold with it. Yeah, no, what you talking about with like the Netflix filter, I thought was very interesting because you're 100% right. And you see it very badly with One Piece as well, where it's like they do this weird like oversaturation and then like a weird like ambient occlusion that I think they just like do that on all of their shows that are like heavily animated.
I think we should examine this a little closer in the future because there's something going on.
There's something going on there that is like they just
they're
put it on
clearly
top.
different creative teams doing that. Like it's different directors, different cinematographers, but they all look the same.
Yeah, do they run into like a homogenization machine afterwards where it's like, oh, you made this good show. Let's put our filter on it and then we'll ship it.
Yeah, and now we're ready to go. Because like you could play, I put trailers side by side, and I could tell that which one was a Netflix show and which one was like an HBO show. You know?
Yeah,
it's very
100%.
And I think that's a thing too that we're gonna be struggling with. Like after seeing The Last of Us exist and knowing that you can actually make a fully fleshed out property outside of something that already exists, and I wouldn't say it's better or worse by any means, but I would say it's different. And I think it was probably the closest that I've ever seen something like that happen for live action compared to an artistic, version of it. That means other things got to step it up. If we already have Avatar: The Last Airbender, what makes me want to watch this is the biggest thing. Has Netflix cracked that code yet?
Nostalgia.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, that's why The Lion King made $1 billion. The Lion King also fucking sucked. So it's kind of like I need a reason to be like, when I watch this and be like, this. I'm glad I watched the same thing that I've already seen before in what I consider a lesser, version.
Right. What is the point? Why are we excited to watch this?
Money.
Nostalgia. That's what I'm telling you. That's it. It's just that. I think we all imagine like what that world would look like in our reality. Like when that show was coming out, we imagined being fucking airbenders and waterbenders and shit. And so it's like just that little childlike instinct of like, man, wouldn't it be cool to see that in our realism,
But Sokka can't make his stupid faces. So it doesn't hit.
It's very true. But I will say this trailer had more bending than I think the entire Shyamalan movie did.
Yes.
So we'll see. Look, again, February 22nd. That's not far. No. That's close. Mm-hmm. That is closer than we think.
That is when The Last of Us came out last year. Or this year, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Cautiously optimistic.
It's going to probably just be the whole first book?
Apparently, yes. Yeah, I think it's 10 episodes, I want to say. And it's going to be that first book. Yeah. We'll see.
I think the first book was 10 episodes, too.
Was it?
Was it that
little?
What if it's just shot for shot the same...
Do it. Fuck it. Yeah.
That's probably best case scenario.
It's the
real. That's the safest. Yeah. Yeah. The only worries are the Netflix stuff, and then obviously that the creators dipped out. So that's what I'm like. What is so egregious that they're like, this doesn't work? And that's the worry part.
Yeah. If it's so bad that you don't want to be part of it, I am not. That's the thing about Netflix is they're so 50-50. It can be so hit or miss. We all heard One Piece is 1,000 episodes. Somehow the One Piece show on Netflix is good. I don't know what the fuck they did that made it so good. Apparently that show's good. They also did Cowboy Bebop, and that was one of the worst things I've ever seen before in my life. So I don't know. I just don't know.
They just flip a coin, man.
It truly feels like they do. They're like, we're gonna make this one really shitty. Okay, dope, awesome, love that.
All right, let's move on. This one, I wish Devin was here because he'd be very excited. So this one's mainly from me. The Witcher, Sirens of the Deep, an animated movie, follow up to their Nightmare of the Wolf movie, which I thought was pretty good.
Oh,
but
cool.
The coolest part, at least for me, is the return of Doug Cockle as the voice of Geralt. He did the video game voice of Geralt. He is doing the voice of him in this animated movie, which I think is very fucking cool.
Nice.
I'm happy that they're actually giving the voice actors work that they deserve.
That's tight.
And that on top of this is going to be about the short story called A Little Sacrifice, which I've talked about in the past. Is probably my favorite short story, at least from that book of short stories that he's written. So when it wasn't in the show, I was a little bummed. But to hear that it's kind of getting its own thing, even if it's only animated, I'm very excited for this. So this was a really cool thing for me. Pretty excited. And it does, based off this trailer, it does look like they're expanding upon it because there's some shit in here. I'm like, this is not in the story, but we'll see where this goes. Okay, very cool. Comes out late next year, so not soon.
Late next year.
Right. Yeah, it said late 2024. I'm like, okay, all right. Maybe you're not crunching your animators. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I shouldn't be mad about that. I'm surprised that they're showing a whole trailer with something that's gonna be not anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Next, let's talk about some shit. So. Teaser for the upcoming, very upcoming, I think next month, Yu Hakusho. I've never watched it, guys, so I know nothing about what this is, but I've heard that from the three of you that you guys really like this anime growing up. I watched this trailer. I started off, I was like, okay, I'm not sure what's going on, but okay. By the end of it, that second half of that trailer, I was like, this looks like crap. I'm sorry, but I was just like, this looks awful, man.
Speaking of that coin toss, baby, this looks like the coin toss.
What did they say? Fuck it with the budget? Like, what is happening in this shit?
This looks like shit to me.
Yeah, I don't really remember what happens, but I just remember it being a bunch of crazy things when I was like a baby.
I mean, Yu Hakusho is known for having one of the best anime arcs in like 90s anime with the Dark Tournament arc. So it's like pretty well beloved. So to touch it already is pretty. You gotta be,
pretty bold.
It's like basically touching like Ghost in the Shell, which we tried to do that and we saw how that went.
Wildly successful.
Yeah, I do like that at least they're using people of color. That's pretty cool.
That's very cool. I'm convinced that at the end of this trailer, they're fighting like a really big dude, that dude is fully CG. That dude does not look real. Yes, I don't know what it is. He looks rubber. He looks like a rubber band man.
This looks like something that would have come out in 2005 to me. And I think that's going to be its downfall.
It does look like Dragon Ball Evolution. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. And I mean, some of the character designs look
Dragon
pretty
Ball
good.
Evolution.
Well, yeah, they're doing that part you're talking about with the big guy they think is fully CG is like a pretty important part of that anime. It's one of the best parts of the anime.
Just get a big guy.
Just get a really big guy. Like the set piece they're using for that. They're already kind of fucking up what it should look like.
I don't like the font of the fucking logo of the name. I think it looks like I don't know what it is. This trailer looked like shit to me. I'm sorry.
I'm right there with you. It looks almost fan made, to be honest with you.
Yeah, a little bit. This shit look like a YouTube short.
Yeah, I think they could have done just as good, and I'm sure they had probably a micro budget compared to whatever Netflix has.
I know. Maybe they spent all the money for One Piece, and they're like, "Sorry, this is all you guys have left."
They're seriously trying to do all the animes right now. Though, do you think are they going to do Dragon Ball? I wouldn't be surprised if they do Dragon Ball.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was next on the list. Absolutely, they're like take another crack at it. If Avatar is successful, they'll do Dragon Ball.
Talk about something you should just leave alone.
They should leave that shit alone. Dragon Ball Evolution put such a stain on the community that I don't think they should even make an attempt to.
And Dragon Ball's on an up with Super. Like I feel like it's maybe they just won't. Like they're still making new episodes, so like.
That's the thing. At least Yu Hakusho ended in like the late 90s or whatever. So it's like we know that's a finished anime that whatever. If you fuck it up, you can still go watch the anime. Dragon Ball's still going on right now. They're making a new arc currently. Please don't touch it, Netflix, or at least give it to somebody else if you're gonna touch it.
An HBO Dragon Ball.
I'll watch it. I'm gonna watch it for the meme.
Right. I do wonder. This made me just think right now. I do wonder how long it is until Netflix announces they're doing a live action Attack on Titan show.
No, they've tried already and it's bad. Not Netflix, but just in general, they're trying to make it.
They're gonna do it. I just thought about it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna capitalize on this. They're not even gonna have the rights yet. They're just gonna be like, "We're doing it."
No, I want a Neon Evangelion Genesis live action. I want them to see them do the weird, freaky stuff in live action.
That would be cool.
So we'll see. Brian, you'll have to let us know.
I'll watch it, and I hope Devin watches it too, so that we can talk about it.
Comes out next month, so
I probably won't catch it.
I'm not mad at you for it.
Moving on. This is one is just because it's fucking weird. I did not know this existed. Apparently, Netflix made an Exploding Kittens animated TV show. Listeners, if you don't know what Exploding Kittens is, it's a card game. It's a very basic premise card game.
Have you guys played this game?
Yeah.
I have. It's very fun.
I tried convincing Ben. We were at some store like a year and a half ago, maybe, trying to find like a new game for like a trip we were going on to visit some family or something. And I was like, let's get this. This looks wacky and silly.
It's fun.
I think we got something else, but I still wonder if it's any good.
No, I would say it's good. I would say you need at least more than 3 people. 4 to 5, 6 people is probably the best. 3's a little tough, just based off the rules. But no, it's a fun game. It's a good game. Brian's played it before, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't make a TV show out of it.
It's real weird that they made a TV show about this shit. And it's all about like the battle of heaven and the hell and shit. This shit looks wild.
Wow. So I was trying to think about like what happened with the actual like card game. Like I thought it was made by somebody that was like on Newgrounds or something. I don't know if you guys remember Newgrounds.com. That was where like every animator started, because there's a bunch of little kids making animations that were really egregious on a website. And I thought that's where this came from, but I can't.
That's what it looks like for sure.
I think the animator, or not the animator, like the original like comic artist for those kinds of comics was, God, his name's like the Oatmeal or something like that. I don't know where his beginnings were, but he used to just make like comic strips basically. And then that turned into, he started making merchandise, and the merchandise turned to Exploding Kittens. And now man's got a whole TV show, and that's pretty cool, I guess.
Let me just read this real quick for you, because this is hilarious. Exploding Kittens follows the eternal conflict between heaven and hell that escalates when God and the devil are sent to the mortal realm in the bodies of chubby house cats. How could you not want to watch that?
That's what's up. That's tight.
I'm sold.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. Something new.
It sounds like these people, if it's one person or a couple people that are involved with this franchise, Exploding Kittens, sounds like they've been grinding their ass off, and I'm happy for them.
It seems like it's going to be one of those things that's going to get like a really niche audience, the same way that like, I mean, maybe it's not niche, because I feel like everybody likes Rick and Morty, but you know, it gets like that really like obsessive...
a little culty at times.
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna get exactly that, where like people are gonna be like, "Oh, have you ever heard of Exploding Kittens, the TV show? That's my shit." You know what I mean? They have sauce at McDonald's, so I'm gonna stand there for 8 days in order to get the sauce from McDonald's.
You sound just like their fans for sure. I can imagine.
I've been around too many of them, so I'm pretty well versed. I will watch it if I'm really bored. I just don't have much interest in it personally.
Right. If I hear it's really good, I'll check it out. Yeah. If it's in the vein of like a Cuphead, you guys know my love for the Cuphead show. If it's in the vein of that, I'll check it out. No, sure. And that's the thing I love about these Netflix animated shows, is that you can go through those shows in 2 days.
That's my thing.
3 days.
I hope it's short. It's my biggest thing.
Yeah. All right, moving on to our next little teaser here. I just have to start with a dun 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 dun. Yes, because apparently Netflix is also doing Terminator, the anime, which is interesting. Huh.
Terminator's trying so hard to get back in the limelight, and it seems like it's not working.
It's because it's such a fucking dope premise, and they just keep fucking it up.
Like the video games don't work. The most recent movies
I can see
don't
this
work.
Working. I can see this working as an anime for sure.
I mean, a robot anime is not uncommon. So if anything can make it work, it would be anime, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm rooting for them. I love Terminator. I think it's a great survival guide for the future.
Oh, a survival guide, Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were gonna say that. I like the second one. Second one's cool. The rest of them are, give or take. The first one's okay too. The third one fucking sucks.
What happened in the third one?
I don't remember. I think the Terminators actually like win, and then there's
at the end of the third Terminator is when the world gets nuked, and they're like, "Yep, it was all gonna happen either way."
Yep.
The Judgment Day happens.
Yeah, you can't. Butterfly effect. Yeah.
I will say the 6th Terminator movie I thought was actually good.
What?
There's 6?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know.
I remember 3 of them.
I thought there were 4.
There was some like spin-offs, but they weren't numbered.
4's the one with Batman. 4's the one with Christian Bale.
Oh. Which one has Emilia Clarke?
That's 5. That's the worst one. That one
I've seen 5.
Sucks.
5
What's the 6th one?
That one's bad. 6th one is Dark Fate. That one came out. It's from the director of the first Deadpool movie, and when Arnold came back again.
No way.
But that one, and that's when that's the one where Linda Hamilton as the mom came back for the first time since like 2.
I don't think I saw that one.
That one I thought was actually good. That was probably the best one since 2.
And when did that one come out?
A couple of years ago. That's no one saw it. It made no money. It was honestly a bummer. I was like, it's because the 6th Terminator movie, people were sick of it because they kept sucking. Right. So it's like, how do you expect them to come see the movie that's actually decent when you keep fucking up? But
I just want to make sure it wasn't my fault that I didn't see it. It's their fault that I didn't see
it.
No. Okay.
Yeah, so this will be cool. I'm excited. I'll watch it. You know, I love Terminator.
Yeah, I'll wait for you to watch it and tell me whether or not I should watch it.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, let's move on to our last and final trailer. This is for Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire. We've seen trailers for this before. We just got another one. This is how Netflix ended their whole Geek Week thing. Coming out very soon, next month, December 22nd. It's the big Zack Snyder Star Wars, but it's not Star Wars movie. Yo, we talked about this. I'm excited in the sense that someone can do something different with space.
Right.
You know,
it is possible.
I'm always going to be a science fiction girly through and through, so I'm always going to be interested in different takes on this. It's Zack Snyder, so that's pretty cool.
It just looks cool.
Yeah, it really looks cool. I'd love to see another like good world built. I feel like it's been a long time since we've seen something that would actually like turn into a real franchise potentially.
Yeah, I've been excited about this since I heard about it. I did not know that it was a Netflix movie, however.
And I think a lot of people didn't. And I think that's kind of the issue.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Is that like, it's a Netflix movie.
I will say, like, at least budget wise, it looks better than you think.
There's multiple locations. That's pretty cool.
Right.
Most Netflix movies do not have that. So.
The disrespect with which he said that.
But am I wrong?
Multiple locations.
A Netflix movie will be in one place the entire time.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, clearly, their Netflix they want their Star Wars. They gave him they gave him all the money and said, and go ahead, make 2 movies, make your giant space epic. It's probably story wise gonna be everywhere. It's probably gonna be a fucking mess. But if the action's there and it looks cool and there's some cool shit, I can unplug and just enjoy it for what it is. But who knows?
Did he write it also?
I think he co-wrote it.
Oh yeah, there's a couple other writers.
Is that fucking black man that's in everything?
Djimon Hounsou? Yeah. There's a million people in this shit.
Can this man get a real fucking credit? This man does. He's the hardest working motherfucker I swear I see in Hollywood, and this man does not get his flowers. I don't even know his name. That's crazy, but he's in everything, and everything big budget too. That's crazy. Okay,
yeah.
I also think I see a dude from the Vikings in this. I don't know his name, but he's a pretty white man. He usually has long hair.
No, I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be cool, man.
Yeah,
it doesn't quite have that same Netflix look to it.
Right. Not as much.
Zack Snyder definitely had
it's a little bit control. There.
It definitely looks like a Zack Snyder film, though.
Yes.
It replaced the Netflix filter with the Snyder filter.
That is the Man of Steel ass filter I've ever seen. There's a lot of glowing red behind a lot of dark blues, a lot of gray.
Yeah. Gray, brown, Yeah.
I didn't see much slow motion. Was there slow motion?
Yep, towards the end.
That's
You'll definitely
true.
see some slow motion.
There's
literally a slow motion jump scene towards the end.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole trailer. I got distracted.
No, I kind of forgot about this. I'm actually glad that we saw this trailer again because I was super excited when this first was announced.
Yeah,
I just love sci-fi. Sci-fi is probably my favorite genre.
I mean, to this movie's benefit, it might benefit from the fact that Dune got delayed.
Oh, 100%. Dune getting delayed was probably its saving grace, if anything, because it's probably gonna have a lot of similarities,
right?
More than we want.
Shit, the literal font of Part 1 looks like Dune. I was like, whoa, they don't give a shit. He's stealing from every sci-fi property, whatever.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I'm excited. Yeah, we'll probably talk about it in the new year at some point.
Do you think they'll turn it into like a big franchise like Star Wars, where they make 8 movies about it?
If it's successful, yes. I mean, that's why they're doing 2 parts. Apparently, they're making that video game.
I was about to say, I was like, follow-up question.
Oh, snap.
Will they make a video game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think they were going to make an animated spinoff. I don't know if that's still in the works or not. I can't remember. But I think, again, Netflix is looking for a Star Wars. They want their big budget shit.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, after seeing some of that, because a big thing that Netflix has been doing for a while is doing their, I don't even know what to call it, but they've been doing these things where they keep making movies where they're fairly small budget, but they spend a lot of their budget on getting one famous actor.
Oh, yeah.
And then surrounding them by a bunch of nobodies over and over again. That's where we got like Bright that had like Will Smith in it. That movie was dog shit. Sorry, Netflix. They've been doing that a lot lately. And lately they've been getting a little bit better because they did like the Knives Out? They did that second movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
A really good movie, apparently. I haven't seen it, but
it's good.
So I think they're trying to hone in on getting a little bit better on doing this big budget stuff. So maybe this is going to be like, this is the culmination of our efforts over the past 5 years of trying to do these kinds of movies.
I mean, and also it helps that Zack Snyder has a bit of a relationship with Netflix. I know he released what was it, Army of the Dead, I think, early this year on Netflix as well. I didn't hear super great things about it, but I mean, clearly he liked working with Netflix, so there you go.
Listen, hot take. A lot of the most like famous directors in the space usually have a lot of dog shit movies, and I feel like we talk about that.
Oh yeah,
like the Wachowskis and M. Night Shyamalan,
they got
people like that. Like,
man, the Wachowskis got more misses than they got hits.
I don't understand. Like, how do y'all make so many? But like, they're hailed in like the space. It's like, creative visions, but it's like Gemini Man was fucking garbage. Like, what's going on?
Who did Gemini Man? Was that Wachowskis?
Gemini Man was what's his name? Same guy that did Life of Pi and that really bad Ang Lee. I think Ang Lee did
Life of Pi
Gemini
is supposed to
Man.
be an amazing
wow.
movie, but
Yeah.
Gemini
It is a
Man
good
was
movie.
fucking garbage. Shit like the Wachowskis.
I think it's just the a handful of directors that have like such a specific style. Their
Mhm.
movies are like style first, and I think that's just like a different realm. You know,
Name 3 good M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Signs, The Village.
The Sixth Sense.
The Village isn't good.
Sixth Sense.
The Village sucks.
It's good. It's good that like after it's over, when you're done, like a couple of years later, you're like, I get it.
You're right about 2 of the 3. I will not give The Village its flowers. That movie fucking sucks.
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that was
That's
the
an easy way.
Split. I hear Split's really good too.
Split was great. Split was phenomenal.
Glass was bad though.
Yeah, that movie was bad.
Split and Unbreakable are really good.
Split might have been
Unbreakable's
the
the
last
best
one I
one
saw.
of the 3.
Oh, I
but-
watched his most recent one, the cabin.
Oh yeah, how was
the knock
that?
at the cabin.
Was that any good?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not bad. It's fine. You know, it's interesting.
Old was really bad.
I heard that was funny. Yeah.
It's funny because
The dude's got unforgiving style.
yeah.
You're
It's
watching
true,
the
he
film
does.
and you know, like,
Yeah.
it's his movie.
Also, because he usually puts himself in them. So there's
Yeah.
also that.
I respect that kind of stuff. I respect that a lot.
Quentin Tarantino only puts himself in the movies when there's toes or he gets to say the N-word.
Yeah, that's a little different. But M. Night Shyamalan, I think, is really cool because he like self-finances every single one of his projects.
Well, that's because no one will give him any money anymore.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else is doing that. But yeah, he'll straight put his whole house on mortgage just to make a movie, and make all the money.
No, that's
all the money
true
back.
art
bless
right
him,
there.
man.
I appreciate
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
No.
That's fucking
Yeah.
bold.
We should do that one of these days. Just do an episode of like retrospective on a director. We'll pick through their shit.
I would love
Same
to
thing
do
with Christopher
that.
Nolan. We'll talk about which movies have the fucking most
There's a hot take.
fucking yeah. We'll logic pick them, and then we'll see which scenes we can't understand what anyone is saying. in the
Yeah,
movie.
I have a lot of strong takes on a lot of these directors where it's like a lot of your shit is kind of like
Movies are hard to make.
Movies are hard. Don't get me wrong, movies are hard to make.
It's
But
crazy.
some of y'all get a little bit too up your own asshole, and maybe you need to go ahead and pull yourself out of the anus and try again. Because what the fuck was that?
Listen, Martin Scorsese just made like a 3.5-hour movie, and apparently it's amazing. So
I'm not watching a 3.5-hour movie.
But it's Martin Scorsese.
I saw that. I heard it was good too. And as soon as I heard it was
I do
almost
wanna
4
see
hours,
it,
I was like,
but,
I will not
yeah.
watch it because who has fucking? I go into a movie at 12 p.m. I don't leave till 5. Fuck you. Like,
Yeah, that's gonna take this house a couple of days to watch probably.
yeah, I need to see that in 30-minute pieces on my own TV.
Right.
I'm not watching it.
yeah.
No, this sounds like a great topic. We should table this and
We should.
and bring this up another
I'm
time. I
interested,
think
'cause
that's a good idea.
I was thinking of Jupiter Ascending, by the way, not Gemini Man. Jupiter Ascending's really bad.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
You're not wrong.
All right, that's our main topic, guys. That's it. Netflix, keep doing what you're doing.
I'm sorry. I want to make Netflix better start doing better because they're trying to charge me more again.
That's also true. That's also true.
So you better make some good shit because my wallet's on the line right now.
You know what they should do is stop putting their movies out in the theater like for 1 week at 2 different theaters and then putting it on Netflix.
That's because they want to get Oscars. That's how you get an Oscar.
Oh, you gotta.
I know, but they'll make more money if they just put that shit in theaters.
But they gotta spend more money if they put it in theaters for longer.
It's
than
true.
That's
It's
true.
true.
Yeah, I just saw The Killer. Killer's not bad. Pretty good. Pretty good movie. Netflix movie. All right, I'll take it. All right, that is the main topic of the week. Guys, shall we now move into our final segment of the week,
Let's go.
do it.
which we like to call Free for All, title pending. This is a segment of listeners. We can talk about whatever we want, talk about our day, talk about life, take a nap, fight, whatever. It is free for all. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. Because why not? Who cares? I don't know. I don't know what you guys got cooking over there. But I'll tell you about something I've been doing. Because we've been
What's
talking
cooking?
about
All right.
video games for a little bit. And I've been talking about buying video games. And then I got really upset about the fact that I want to buy new video games, but I have video games that I need to fucking play. So you know what I did?
You played some old video games?
Yes. This is a game that
There
I've
you
played
go.
before, but I haven't played since it came out in like 2004. But I bought the remaster like 5 years ago, and I never actually played it. So I have been playing Final Fantasy X.
Oh, nice.
You're 3 digits off from the correct answer, but that's okay.
Yes. All the Final
Correct
Fantasies that come
answer.
out since then, I have not been playing. Instead, I've been playing Final Fantasy X. Which, as a lot
That's a
of people
good
know,
one.
yeah, a lot of people know, it's definitely one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. I love the music in the game;
Right.
It's beautiful. But it's also probably up there with one of my favorite RPGs, if not one of my favorite games. Probably in the top 10 or 20. I'm not really sure. I have to think about it. It hits such a nostalgia that I'm just, I don't know. It like almost brings me to tears just thinking about it because like some of the moments in that game are just so beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
That I really can't. I don't know. It's hard to describe and see that in another world. And I think that came out on a PlayStation 2 game, and to see those things happen in a PlayStation 2 game are so. I don't know. It was like, damn, like, was that the peak of game? Was 2004 the peak of gaming? I don't know.
Maybe.
Was that the year that The Matrix Path of Neo came out? Because if that's the case, then no.
But also Halo 2 came out. I'm pretty sure there was some kind of Mass Effect. No, that wasn't Mass Effect yet, but that might have been one of the Old Republics, which the second one wasn't very good. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I loved it.
That's awesome.
For people that don't know, Final Fantasy X follows the character named Titus. Titus is a blitzball player. That is the sport in the universe that he is in.
I bet you're really good at blitzball too, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand how the fuck to play that game?
Yes, I do.
I was about to say, Brian's one of the only people in the world that knows the rules.
So the only reason I know how to play it is because when I first played this game, my friend Jermaine, he lived down the street from me. He was the one that let us borrow it. He had the Prima Games game guide. He was a super nerd. Yeah. Jermaine was a super nerd. So he let us borrow it when he let us borrow this game. So it told us exactly how to fucking,
Because that does not make any sense, that game. It's like if anybody hasn't played, it's like a mini game inside of the game where you only have, I think it's only one part that you like have to play it, but it's impossible.
It's so funny. I always do the whole win thing, because that's how you get Waka's special like legendary item, his legendary weapon. You have to win all the blitzball matches and stuff like that, and it gets pretty difficult. But it's so funny seeing that, because blitzball specifically is like such a supposed to be, it's like underwater soccer basically, soccer mixed with rugby, but it's all underwater.
It's underwater.
Yeah, it's underwater, but in like a sphere. It's a sphere of water, but you're swimming the whole time.
Are these people fish people? How do this is a world where they can
Titus
just breathe?
Never has to take a breath. I don't know why. They don't explain it. It's just one of those things. Man just doesn't ever have to take a breath. There's times where you're fighting in the water for many minutes. Many minutes you're fighting underwater. And no one even begins to be like, oh shit, I need to get air. I don't know.
Oh shit.
But it's so funny because it's like so intense, and like usually rock music plays when it's happening. But then you actually get down to play the actual blitzball game in game. It's chess. Essentially, it's just you're just moving pieces, turn based.
Yeah, it's still turn based. Like Final Fantasy.
That's fucking funny.
So it's so funny. You'll see like the cutscenes, and you'll see people doing backflips and shit in the water and hitting each other. And it's like, well, let's play real blitzball. Move this guy 2 places forward. Move this guy. Make him kick to this guy.
Damn,
like super funny. But yeah, this game is a beautiful game. It tells an amazing story. It gets really convoluted. Like the reason Kingdom Hearts is the way that it is because of Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy VII has it's weird, but it's a pretty straightforward story that you probably will understand at the end of it. Mm-hmm. Final Fantasy 8, 9 the same way. Final Fantasy X, you're gonna leave the end of this fucking confused. But yeah, I'm not very far through it. I maybe played like a few hours, and I've been enjoying it so far. So I want to beat it. I'm 100% cheating. I am not gonna sit there and grind for 3 hours before I have to fight Seymour. I'm not doing that. I'm a grown adult.
Seymour.
There's a dude named Seymour, and he does not look like a fucking Seymour. This man, that's crazy. I will recommend it to anyone that has not played it before. Whether or not you like RPGs, I don't know. I think it's a good game. I think it's a game that's so pinnacle.
Brian, this is the game with the most infamous laughing scene, correct?
Yes. It's one of those things that you just gotta. If you don't understand the context, it feels weird. Basically, what Titus is trying to do with Yuna is struggling. She's Yuna is the kind of the other main character of the story, and the fact that she's a summoner. The whole thing is you're supposed to be the protector of her while she goes through her pilgrimage to be able to stop the main villain. She has to get stronger and get other aeons and things like that. Her summon other, special creatures. But she's stressed because it's just stressful. Everything's riding on the whole existence of the universe is riding on her back. So she doesn't know how to laugh and like be chill. So he's like, sometimes she's got to force it. So the whole scene that they're trying to depict there, the fact that like sometimes you just got to pretend to laugh and it'll make you actually laugh. So that's why it starts as the ha 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 ha.
God, it's so weird. And then it's so awful to watch.
Then they start naturally laughing afterwards. It's like, okay, like now I've made myself like. It's the same thing. Like I don't know if you ever heard that before. Like if you smile when you're like upset, it'll like make you actually have like happy feelings to the point where you're actually genuinely smiling. It's that same kind of thing. So out of context, yes, it's weird.
Okay,
they're being dicks.
Thank you for correcting that.
Yes, it's still weird.
When you started describing this game and you were like, "This game brings me to tears," and then I was like, "Isn't that the game with that scene?" I was like, "This game is wild."
Titus is a rough main character, as most like anime adjacent or Japanese adjacent characters tend to be.
He's annoying, right?
He's really fucking annoying. He is the most whiny bitch you'll ever meet before in your life. But the characters around him are so strong. Maybe even learn to love him at the end.
I think my favorite character was that quiet old grandpa with the giant sword.
Yeah, Orin.
He was the coolest like sub character.
I love Orin because Orin basically pretends that he's disabled because he only uses one arm to hold his sword.
Oh, that's the game with Orin in it.
Yeah, he's the other one, and he has like a sling in his like kind of jacket.
Oh, right, yeah.
But then when you do his like whatever the thing that he does, like his little special attack, he just takes out his arm and just fucking swings it anyway. And it's like, so you're not disabled. You can use your arm. What the fuck?
It's just for emergencies.
Yeah, it's just for emergencies. Yeah, Orin's super cool.
Very nice. Okay. How far are you into it?
I'm maybe like 5 hours, so not super far. It's probably about a 40-hour game. So.
Right. So you've barely touched it.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll probably try to play it a little bit maybe after this.
That's dope as hell, man. Just had this conversation on our podcast. This year of great games, and we're all playing all this old shit.
I just have so much to catch up on that it just really feels in bad faith to spend $70. I already did it on Diablo, and I regret it because Diablo wasn't that much fun to me.
Oh,
so I'm really trying to be like, I can save my money and like wait until the game at least goes on sale before I buy it.
Fair enough. Yeah, man. I can very quickly go next then. I already talked about how I watched The Killer, so I'm not gonna really talk about that. It's a good movie. Go check it out. It's pretty cool. So my other things are music based because for one thing, I listened to the last and final Attack on Titan soundtrack. It was only 5 songs. It's 24 minutes long.
Oh damn! It
was very cool. Which was nice because I was like, oh, when it came out, I was like, oh, it'll be another 2-3 hours with this shit. Fuck. So when it came out, I was like, oh, sweet. I can get this out in an afternoon. Sweet. It was very cool. There's one song in particular that is very, very cool in the terms of it combined multiple themes from both composers and in a really cool way. So it was very cool for that. And then the other thing, also a soundtrack. I don't know how I happened upon it. I think it was because I was browsing through the Spider-Man 2 video game soundtrack because there was a dope song on there that I wanted to look up. And then like under the related things, I saw, and we talked about this in the past, I think, how you guys remember the Rogers the Musical that in Hawkeye, the Hawkeye show?
Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing about it, yeah.
I don't remember if you guys remember the story how this past summer the Disneyland theme park turned it into an actual show. They made a full-length 30-minute show of it, which is crazy to me. And that thing was on fucking they released it and they made a cast album and I listened to it and it was really funny. It was really goofy. And there's a song where Captain America sings to himself, which is honestly the best song. It was very funny.
What the fuck?
So yeah, just 2 soundtracks. Attack on Titan is still dope, so love it. I miss it already.
No, funny thing about Attack on Titan is actually, I think it's around season 2. This Christmas, I'm probably gonna buy an 88 key. I used to play piano as a kid.
Yeah,
a long time. But one of the main reasons that I wanted to buy one happened around season 2 of this coming out. Because I really wanted to learn how to play one of the songs from Attack on Titan on piano. And I've been thinking about it for the past 7 years since. And I think I'm finally ready to pull the trigger and go ahead and learn to play it.
That's awesome.
That's dope as hell. As usual, shout out to God of War Ragnarok.
Ooh, there's so many better games that have come out now.
It's still the best PS5 game of all time so far.
As I say,
whoa. Bold.
Baldur's Gate 3 is on PS5.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Played it,
Best game ever right there. All right, well, I'll go next. My free-for-all this week is a little unique. I've been going to a lot of the protests here in the city in New York to demand a ceasefire for the people out there in Gaza. You know, I just wanted to express what is happening to the people in Palestine right now is, you know, monstrous and far beyond a humanitarian crisis. I won't go into a whole bunch of details, but I want to encourage any listeners out there to do some research and look past what the Western news media is telling us, because there's a lot of fucked up shit that's happening right there right now.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit off podcast as well. It's like where it kind of lands, and I think the biggest thing that most people need to understand is the fact that we're dealing with people being murdered, potential genocide. Is what it's really coming down to. Something that has not happened in a very long time in our history. And it's sad to see that we're treating it as such a controversial topic to protect human lives when it comes down to it. So,
yeah, no, I absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you brought it up. Obviously, like we try to keep things light, but it does get to a point where things are so serious that it's unavoidable.
It's unavoidable for sure, and it's really scary.
Yeah,
what's happening.
I would also encourage people to also look into things that are happening in the West Bank, because that is one of the things that most people are not even also talking about. Obviously, horrible things are happening in Gaza. Everything that's happening there is also happening in the West Bank. That is
right.
Not a lot of conversations are happening about it, and it's just as terrible there as well. And it sucks. Everything's awful that's happening.
Call your legislation. Demand ceasefire. We have.
Call your reps.
It feels like we don't have voices, but we do, and we have to utilize them in order to make the world better for everybody.
That's why Election Day just happened, baby.
Yeah, Election Day just happened. I was coming home, and I wasn't really feeling like voting. I'm not going to lie, because my voting place is in a really stupid place with no parking, and I was pissed about it. But I still went. I still did it. Because
nice.
I know that the system's broken, and a lot of this shit is fucked. We talked a little bit about how it's the fact that it's hard to feel like you have a say in things that happen, because your Congress or your government might not be representative of what you believe. But the only way we can change it right now is by using our voices, voting, getting out there, speaking about it, talking about it.
Yeah, the least that we can do is to be educated, be researched, and share stories from people that are, actually going through this.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, like most problems in the world, this only can naturally find a solution through communication.
All right, yeah. Ceasefire, please.
Absolutely. Alrighty, that is our show, listeners. Don't forget, you can email us at thefortressof@gmail.com, Fortress spelled F-O-U-R. Feel free to email us any questions, feedback, recommendations, or anything like that. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel at The Fortress of. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Follow the Bolly with 3 R's, rate, review, and recommend us to everyone and anyone you know. Thank you, Jackie, for helping edit the podcast every week. Thank you, Brian, for the art, Alex for the music, and Devin, thank you for being here, even when you're not here. You can find Brian on Instagram at ITZ_ by the way, Alex at Peterson Films, and Devin, find him at cold as shit outside, playing some cold sport.
Ultimate Frisbee or whatever the fuck in 8-degree weather.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it.
Next week, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about something. There's a lot of shit going on in the world. We'll talk about stuff. Either way, we'll be here. As usual, happy holidays, everyone, and put a cold on. Hold on. Don't put a cold on. Put a coat on. It's cold out
Put
there.
a coat on. Maybe get a cold. I don't know. It's getting cold. Maybe eventually, finally. I'm not sure. It'll probably be 80 degrees next week.
Honestly, I thought it'd be colder up here, and I'm glad it's not that cold. All right, listeners, we will see you here next week on another episode in the Fortress of...